Hi, it's so wonderful to have you here, and I'm glad that you are on the inner work path. This collective reading is for people who are doing inner work. They probably stumbled upon inner work. They didn't know how it happened or when it happened, but it definitely happened, and there's no complaining because this is definitely a much better life than being stuck in a limbo state and just acting like how most of the people in the world, in the samsara, act. This collective reading may or may not resonate 100%, so we are going to dive deep into it now. Before I relay the whole message, I want to share that my intention is not flattery or to make anyone feel superior. I am doing this reading for people, as I just said, who are doing inner work, who are devoted to God, who believe in God, who believe in the power of Source and Supreme, and have faith. And such people have very honest and innocent energy. No matter what they've gone through in life, there is kindness in their heart. So those who are genuinely spiritual and have gone through a lot, they've gone through a lot in life because all they wanted was to find true love. Or, in general, they wanted to live a life which is based on truth and, nothing false or nothing fake. Because they wanted nothing but love, they also gave nothing but love. Whosoever I'm channeling for today are these people who did not know that many of those who were claiming to be in love with them were never really in love with them. I mean, with the whole package that you are. If there was something they liked about you, it was in bits and pieces, or most of the time they were cherry picking. It could be body, it could be sexuality, it could be money, it could be your designation, your position, it could be something material about you, but they would not want to look through your soul. I don't think they know how to look through anyone's soul, by the way. Obviously, there is a heartbreak situation that you have gone through. Some of you have gone through many heartbreaks, and some of you have gone through an intense heartbreak that has still been around you in your energy body. You still feel it. You still feel the trauma of it because it was so traumatizing. When you were in this relationship, you felt that you were carrying the whole relationship on your shoulder. And probably whatever happened just when you thought that you're about to reach the finish line, like you gave it everything, and when it had to manifest into something beautiful, that's the time the other person decided to go away. These feelings have given you like sleepless nights. You have also felt that someone stole something away from you, they took something away from you. I also feel that some of you have moved on and you do see it as an illusion now. You do realize the illusion that that person was feeding into you or giving into you. Although I also sense there are some very positive feelings also, but let me just talk about these feelings. Some of you have currently been feeling very restricted, but let me tell you, these are the restrictions that you've put on your own self, and you can easily get out of them when you understand, because whatever is happening with you right now is probably because there's a churning going on, a churning process, a purging process is going on. And whosoever this person was, I do sense a negative energy in this person. They always focus on negativity, they always focus on lack and limitation, and they're extremely materialistic. You probably realize things much better when you had the tower moment. It came like boom from nowhere, and you felt like completely, no energy left. For a while you had no energy left. It was probably some of you who also figured out about their high priestess energy. When you were in this relationship, a lot of supernatural things happened. A lot of interesting things happened. You had some experiences with the divine. You have a lot of synchronicity based experiences. You have lots and lots of, I would say, experiences which show you who you are. You are also very thankful that this relationship happened, though it took away your energy, but you started feeling rejuvenated as soon as the truth started hitting you. The truth serum started hitting you and it started working on your energy field. So anyone who stole your energy, let me tell you, it's all gonna come back to you. They may have stolen from other people also, but you are the person that puts a full stop, because after they do whatever they do with you, I don't think they can repeat it anymore. They're gonna get whatever they deserve, because the card of justice was also shown to me. Either you want justice, either you are getting this message that justice is definitely going to be yours. You are going to be victorious for sure. Victory is something that's written in your destiny. You have very beautiful energy around you of spirit guides, loyal animals, and you're working on your masculine and feminine energy, as you can see over here. So there's Ida and Pingla inside our energy body that is working for you, and you also possess the magician energy, where the elements of earth, all the elements of earth basically support you and stay by you. You can become a member of this channel and enjoy the membership perks. You can also become a Patreon and support the channel every month. And thank you so much for being a subscriber and viewer. I really appreciate that you're doing your inner work. The earth needs more and more people like you. Now I sense an energy around you of someone you had pedestalized, or you have, still you're pedestalizing that person. They may not be around you, but you still mentally keep them on a pedestal, and you gave them a very big place in your heart. You gave them such a big space. This person was very important for you and meant a lot to you, and you did go out of your way to keep them happy. Not only you did whatever was in your capacity, but you did more than your capacity. And I don't think this person sees it, or this person saw it at that time. For those, the time frame has increased, but because there's justice, because there's victory, they'll definitely realize that no one can ever treat them like the way you treated them. But whether you want them again or not, that is something which only time can tell. Most of you may not, because now you understand why they were sent to you on your timeline. A lot of people are actually sent on our timeline so that we can learn some lessons, and it could also be the time factor. God is also teaching us about divine timing. Sometimes we want something so desperately, we pedestalize it, it doesn't happen, we get sad and dejected. But when it happens, you know that this is the perfect time. This is perfect timing. In case you met this person due to professional reasons, professional work, then also you did very big favors on them, like giving them a lot of time and attention, and things that you would normally not do for others. But you saw some potential in this person, you saw some truth, some kind of sincerity, but they never saw it. They never see things like how much others are doing for them. They only see what they are doing, and they act like, oh, they are giving away to the peasants, they act like that. But they don't see that the other person has probably gone out of their way, in terms of whatever. Maybe you didn't bill them for a lot of things you did for them, but whatever, they think that they are the greater person. So only because at that point in time they spoke in a certain way, they spoke a certain language with you, they said some things to you which touched your heart, and you thought that this is how this person is, like this is the totality of the person. But they were probably sharing those thoughts and those ideas with you because it looks nice, it looks kind of fancy, it's flowery. Maybe at that time they were very impressed by you, so they wanted to be like you, they wanted to be in your energy. But after spending time with you, they realize it's not easy to be you. It's not easy to live the lifestyle you live, or the morals you follow, or the principles you follow. So they thought that, this is too much for them. So it would be better if they do their things, whatever they were doing. Maybe you had some rules like not eating meat, not doing drugs, no casual hookups or anything, no flings, or you probably didn't want to get into some intimate situation with this person, or they had something in their mind, they wanted kids, they wanted children. I'm not saying it's wrong, but they always knew that you're not like that. When they knew, it was like a manipulation. They thought that they could show you something Although what they showed to you was also not that big, let me be honest. But you were just being sort of compassionate, understanding, accepting because of those certain words they initially used in front of you, or they spurred out in front of you. Of course, it was quite well planned and manipulative, but it is what it is, it was like a hook. You give someone a hook, like the fish, and the fish doesn't know, gets caught into the hook. In my opinion, I think you're very lucky that God saved you. So this person pretended to love you. It was due to some materialistic gains, definitely because of some worldly gains that they wanted to fulfill through you. Two things have happened. One, they realized that they don't want to be around you. And second, they're also a bit scared of you because you got some gifts, you got some energy around you, a very protective energy around you. This person could probably move into other places or other people's mind, but the way they used others or harmed others, or the way they treat others, the way they steal energy from others, they could not do it with you. Till the time you trusted this person, you did not know what they were up to. They could fool with you, like they could fool around with you. They could play with your minds. They could put you into that really stressful situations, emotional, mental. They would say a lot of mean things to you, unnecessary mean things to you, and you would just not know. And they would justify it. They would justify their meanness, their disrespect, their lies, their bad behavior, everything. They would justify it. But with time you realize that it's not justifiable and something is up with this person. Finally you realized, and I think it could be mutual, breakup also. It could be mutually you went away in some cases. But I do see that there were lies and it did break your heart for a while. This could be something that happened in the past with you. You have moved on. Like for some people, this could be the case that you have totally moved on from it, but every time you think about it, there's still some kind of trauma attached to it. There's some kind of, very negative feeling attached with it. So maybe today's energy reading is to give you clarity and to show you that it happens to a lot of people, especially when you have to get associated or connected with or recognize the high priestess potential. And so that you can understand that there are some people who just like to F with other people's vibe. They just do it. And sometimes we do it to ourselves too, by letting these people rule our minds. So we need to tell ourselves also that don't get affected by these people. They're just effing with your mind. Don't let your mind, because that person is just a representative of the mind. It's like mirroring. So maybe in the past you had allowed such people entry into your mind or into your energy field, but now is the time you gotta let it all go forever. One of the great qualities of people who are doing inner work is that they love to work on themselves. They love to look for the flaws. They are like a detective. They want to look for the flaws and they want to uproot it forever. But the person that I am sensing the energy around you, they don't like to work on themselves. They get very agitated if a flaw appears, or their ego is very big. If they see you doing something nice or talking in a happy manner, they have to do something to bring you down, So now you have realized that you need to focus only on yourself. This could be a sign for you. For some of you, you spend a lot of time circling around this person. And for some of you, it was some sort of investment that you put into. Some kind of good investment. Like you thought that, this is going to be something nice in future. You tried to convince this person to stay. In some cases, you explained them many times. You tried to show them how being with you is a far better choice, but they don't understand. And it's funny how the one who was once upon a time persuading you or was obsessed with you became the person who had to be convinced to be with you. So now it's you who's persuading them, and after they've played all of their games, So what has changed? Maybe they have a better offer. Maybe they no longer feel the same way. Maybe they have some other desire that has consumed their mind. But most important thing is God wants you to, as I just said, focus on your own self now. God wants you to look within and not chase. Most importantly, God wants you to know that what's true is that it's going to be their loss, not yours. In the long run, it's going to be their loss, not yours. Because you gave. People who give have peace, like they feel peaceful. Eventually, when they think about that person or that relationship or the situation, whatever it was, they know that you did your best, like they did their best. When you know you did your best, you can be peaceful. The other person who did not give their 100%, or they were lying and cheating and conniving and manipulating, they cannot sleep peacefully because they were not honest. No one's going to treat them the way you treated them. People are not as selfless and honest as you are. Everyone has a motive. People don't make love or growth their priority. Everybody's priority. Even the person who's involved with you, you want them to grow. You want them to learn about love. You want them to be happy. Most people don't do that. So you wanted to do something with this person, doing something together, doing something for others. You are focused on spirituality, which they like to talk about, but they don't practice, they don't walk the talk. And it takes guts to walk the talk in a world full of programming. So many programmed individuals. Look at what's happening in Hollywood. 4 years back, I've been predicting this all throughout. I've been saying that these people are going to have a really bad time. All the people who are in entertainment world, in mainstream media doing wrong things, they're going to get in a very bad, uncomfortable place. No matter how much money they have, it's just the time. It's the energy field. Time is changing. So they cannot really flourish anymore. Even in normal world, it's not always about entertainment or doing those things. You're not the kinds who can sell your soul or heart for materialistic gains. You may have been receiving a lot of proposals. Maybe, you got the best proposals ever, materialistically best, but you did not choose those people because you knew that either you're going to go for their body, for their looks, or for the money, or for fame or something, some kind of materialistic thing was being offered. And you didn't want to take it. Someone else in your position, in your place, would have definitely taken it, but you did not, because you're not the kinds to sell yourself for anything, You can get into personal energy reading and intuitive reading with tarot session with me. Or you can get into therapy where we do proper inner work, like very systematic and organized. The details are given in the description box. Be it narcissistic abuse, negative memories, release, that further creates, like this abuse or the negative memories, that creates a bank. There's a bank of memories, or there's a bank of experiences that people keep going back to. It's back and forth. They heal, but they go back. So we need to, like a detective, find out. People can do as many courses, as many different types of courses or number of courses, but eventually there comes a point where they figure out, or they learn how to be a volunteer of earth, and how to be on their own, how to be independent, how to be independently doing inner work. They can get into hand holding on and off. So be it chakra alignment therapy, which is the most important thing to do on this planet, so that all our nadis can function fully and lead us to our true potentials. So now let's talk about the truth here in this collective reading. The truth is that truth is also a bit hard to accept. Truth is also something that sets us free. But there's also some truth that you need to know about anyone who displays these type of characteristics or traits. Addiction patterns, lust, and too much materialism, lying, cheating, manipulations, being very negative, pulling you down, taking you into their negative trap, their negative dark hole, not wanting to do inner work, not surrendering to source, not surrendering to God. So these are some patterns that people display. The truth is that they're not as spiritually evolved as you are, and they're not at that level where you expected them to be or you thought they're going to be. So if they walk out on their own, if they decide to go away from you, you're not leaving them, you're not dumping them. Even if in some cases it's mutual, something might have triggered it. It's not like you decided to one fine day just say, okay, I'm leaving. This is what they did to you. You did not do it. Despite knowing all of this, you did not do it. They were never on the same page with you. They might not be worthy of you right now. Maybe you're not ready to accept that. Maybe they're just running away from you for whatever XYZ reason. Maybe they just shut the door on you, on your face. And then there are some people who would tell you that they're not ready for commitment. They cannot do this, they cannot do that. But when it comes to another person, they are very quick to commit. They are very quick to be around the other person. Why would they be able to commit to another person, be with another person, love another person, flaunt another person, not be embarrassed of another person? Because action speaks louder than words. So you also need to accept whatever has happened. And in this collective reading, I'm just trying to help those people who have been in this situation. This is not for ongoing relationship. Let me tell you that. Let me clarify this. In the very beginning, and even the title gives out this information. In some cases, they were literally in your life because they had to present a challenge to you. And you have to think that why would someone who loves you, who cares for you, would present such a big challenge in your life when you're doing something good? Or you're recuperating from things like when Kundalini rises, a lot of people who are on the twin flame journey, they cannot do anything. They cannot operate. They have to take a break. They have to stop. Or maybe they took a break, they started their life all over again, they understood some of the things, that they need to use in order to move ahead in life. So there were some difficulties that probably you were witnessing, you were going through. And the person who claimed to love you, the person who claimed to, be around you at that point in time, suddenly decides to create a problem for you. Why? Because for them, spiritual evolution is not a priority. Doing good for others is not a priority. And you are like at the extreme end of it. I mean, I always say it's good to be on the middle part, but when you're so honest, so sincere, so truthful, so amazing, without being negative, you're helpful, you're kind, then you should do what your heart tells you to do. Maybe that's your nature. That's who you are. So why did they make things difficult for you? Because they did not want you to pursue that path. The same person who decided to shut the door on you once upon a time had said that you guys are peas of the same pod, or you're the most attractive for them, or they can, do whatever it takes to be with you. They're gonna love you here and beyond. They love you now. They love you even after they've gone from this planet. They love you in afterlife. Big words, very big things they've said to you. But when they see you growing, when they see you doing well, when they see you being independent, or even when they see you living a moralistic life, a simple life, a good life, a true life, a genuine life, then they have a problem. The same people would start acting in ways that would disrupt the balance of your life, your emotional state, your mental state. So I see this as good riddance also in many cases. You had to learn to ignore negative energy and continue to do what you want to do, continue to live your life in the most authentic way, in the most real way. Continue to love yourself, to be dedicated to source, do your inner work with focus. But they wanted you to be a slave to them instead. And they wanted you to remain tied up to them. They didn't want you to be free or do something that frees other people, do something which is your true nature. When they saw that you're no longer depending on them for emotional or mental needs, or you're much better, that's the time they decide to take it away from you. Now, for some of the people could be possible it was a full-fledged relationship with children, and maybe there were situations like custody battles, divorce case going on in the court, unnecessary drama going on in the families, blame game going on, scapegoating going on, everything negative happening around you. And then at the end they would put the blame on you. everything is happening because of you, because you are this strange character. I'm also being shown that it could be possible that some of you had a very fancy job when you started out this relationship, and as time went by, you became less and less materialistic, and you decided to change your lifestyle, change something, and maybe you chose something that was not making so much money, but it was giving you a lot of mental and emotional satisfaction, a lot of joy. But they were not happy about it. They were like, why can't you make money? Why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? What about social status? What about how we are perceived by other people? So, things like that. When you do inner work, when you do what you love, when you make friends like you, when you go out, when you be happy, or when you're in your solitude, when you're having fun, when you're devoted, when you follow your heart, practice surrender to source, true surrender to source, then these type of people or this one specific person was definitely not happy. They put the pressure on you to change, like to change into something you're not. There are two types of changes. One is you change to become who you are, and the other is you change to become who you're not. So they're trying to make you turn into who you're not. They were trying. This is from the past. They wanted you to remain in toxic situation. They wanted you to be unnecessarily stuck in some loops, stuck in the matrix. Don't want to ascend. They don't want you to ascend. And they don't want to face their own fears, their own old energy. They don't want to look into the mirror, and you were showing them the mirror. Subconsciously or consciously, the way you live your life, you were showing them the mirror, which they don't want to see, because the mirror shows them the truth. So overall, this channeling is for those people who have faced rejection, or they are facing rejection right now. But the truth is that it's the energy, it's your own energy that's rejecting this whole setup, this type of setup, this type of life. As of now, maybe the person who is so important to you or was important for you, that person is probably not around, but you still think about this person, you still miss this person, you feel bad about the relationship, why it did not work out. Maybe you stayed in hopeful energies, you saw a lot of hope related content, you kept thinking they'll come back, but they've not come back. On the contrary, they're living their own happy life. And now you're kind of realizing the truth, you're understanding the truth. What they're giving to you is low frequency, samsaric, worldly, material stuff. Who you are is high frequency, high vibration. Getting into the hermitage, getting into the solitude usually answers all the questions, which for a lot of people is happening. The earth itself is moving from 3D to 5D. The earth itself is in sort of hermit phase right now. I mean, 100 years, 1900 to 2000, and now 50 more years, and then the earth is going to step out, from the hermitage or from the solitude. But a beautiful earth is being formed. There are so many people now, beautiful faces, beautiful people all over the globe who are so kind, compassionate. The number is increasing. Why did the 1,44,000 light workers, warriors, put so much time, energy, effort, and selflessness into this planet so that others could also rise up? Just by looking at them. This is how humans work. Humans usually learn from watching. Humans don't learn if you order them or you command them. They see others doing it and they do it. And for so many years in the Kali Yuga, in the Dark Age, they were just copying the bad people. They were just copying the demonic entities. Whatever they were showing them with glorification and glamorization, all the wrong things. We humans were doing it without realizing that we are actually making this planet turn into hell. And that's what they wanted. They wanted us to sin. And even as they leave, they are trying to do whatever they can to make some more people sin, make some more people get attracted to them, drag some more souls into their hell dimension. But they're not going to be successful. They're not going to be victorious. For sure, they're going to lose. And you can see this as a prediction. So these people who don't want to shift, who don't want to change, are not a vibrational match to the earth that's in ascension. They are probably a vibrational match to the earth that's in hell dimension, or the split that has happened, the other part of the split. Some of you can clearly see this. You can look at their life, you can look at their habits, you can look at their addiction patterns, and you know what they're doing. The loop of karma they're in, the way they act, the way they're constantly troubled, what they talk about, the language they speak, where they are comfortable in that situation, in that loop, in that pattern. They don't want to come out of that pattern. They're going to talk about the pattern. Constantly they're going to blame this, that person, my mother was not nice, my father was not nice, my legacy is not good enough for me, this job is like that, this is that. They're not going to get up, take the broom and clean the mess. You, on the other hand, you got up and you started cleaning the mess. You didn't say, oh, there is mess, oh, there is mess, oh, there is mess. There are two types of people. One who keep complaining about the mess, they never do anything about it, and the mess keeps getting bigger and bigger and more stinkier. And then the second is the one who can get up and say, all right, there's mess, let me clean it up. It's so easy. Rather than complaining about the mess, it's so much better and so much easier to just get up and clean it. And then you can decorate the same place that was earlier so bad, full of clutter, it was stinking. You have more space, you have more room. There's space, and the space is a constant. Space is always there. In a room, the space doesn't change. Whatever objects you put in the room, that can change. So you'd rather put the objects that are high frequency and high vibrational in nature, probably do it in a minimalistic way, probably do organic stuff, probably do recycling. These are just examples, and I mean it symbolically for energy also. Energy is something that we can control, we can make it better. We can choose to be in darkness, in false reality, or we can choose to be in truth. And then we have to stick to it because it's a practice, it's a mental practice that we need to do. So yeah, nothing really happens, nothing negative happens. It's like you have to tell yourself, I can do it, day by day I can do it. Some people are like, oh, I don't want to see anything, I don't want to go out, I don't want to step out. But keep doing what you love and automatically everything will be sorted out. So this is where the channeling ends. This is where I close it. You can get my book In the Name of Love, a journey of finding your ultimate soulmate. And I wrote this book with the help of supernatural and divine intervention. And I'm very, very thankful to my masters and to Source for helping me write such a wonderful book, which is based on biomimetic mimicry. People who read it feel a shift just by reading the book. So I will see you in the next video. One love, peace out, and victory to Ram.